Hey, Mike, how are you?
Jimmy, how's it going?
Good. I want you to see what I'm wearing.
I
You
like.
like?
Wherever did you get those?
Um,
Wherever.
I
Those
got it
lovely
from
balls.
this company that sells pearls online.
I'm unfamiliar. I'm
Yeah.
unfamiliar.
So this is the first time I've done a split interview screen. Oh, did I lose you? Oh no, there you are.
No, I'm here.
Okay,
I mean,
all right.
Right off the bat, technical difficulties.
Yeah, right. This is the first time I've done one of these, and I brought in John Falchetto to help me out. So I hope it works because he does these. So you're my guinea pig.
I like it. Well, I'm used to that, but
Right. I figured if anybody could be the guinea pig, it could be Shrek.
exactly,
Right.
exactly.
So we have two questions this week, and I figured you were a good person to ask this because you just did this. The first question is, and it's from Jennifer McDonald, who she lived in Seattle, then she moved home to Maine, and last night on her Facebook status, she was having a going away party because she's moving to Connecticut. And I said, can you have a going away party when you've been in Maine for like a month? She was like, Jenny, I'm leaving.
Any excuse for a party,
Right?
Really,
Chocolate and port, I think, is an excuse.
Hmm?
So anyway, she asks, should you consider changing the name of your blog?
I mean, obviously, I'm a fan of it. I just did it.
Right.
For me, it was really kind of a question of the name of the site matching my goals for it. Usually, there's one of two things I think that drives that decision. What are you trying to spread first and foremost? Yourself or that idea that you really want to focus in on?
And where'd you get that idea?
For me, I mean, honestly, I'm a mess. So, being a better mess would be a nice improvement. You know what it is? When I started out, I was really following, Brogan and Danny Brown was obviously a big influence on me. And the more I'm doing it, the more I find I'm pulled to sites like Zen. I know Danny Brown being an influence is confusing to me too, but I connected more with Zen Habits, Minimal Mac. Obviously, Spin Sucks. I spend a lot of time in the community here.
Right, of course.
My own life was getting more specific, and the name MichaelSchechter.me wasn't aligned with it at all, so I just finally decided I had to change it. So for me, I think it made sense because what I wanted to write about didn't mesh with the name.
So why... Okay, never mind. I'm not going to ask that. We'll come back to that.
Okay, we'll circle back?
We'll circle back. So... should you name... Okay, so you went through the whole process, and if you type in MichaelSchechter.me, it actually redirects. But should you change the name and your URL, or can you just change the name and not the URL?
I definitely have a firm opinion on this, but I think it can go either way. It doesn't work for me. I mean, it's probably a really stupid analogy, but it's almost like walking into a McDonald's and suddenly finding yourself at the counter of Burger King. It just doesn't make sense to me. It's kind of a jarring experience, and I didn't want... I could have done that. I could have theoretically kept it MichaelSchechter.me, but then when you get to the site, it's, a better mess.
Right.
But anyone who types that in, and I tend to occasionally type in, like when I'm going to visit you or I'm going to visit Marcus over at the sales line, I'll type in those domains, and it wouldn't make sense to me if it was suddenly something different. Then again, just like to any rule, there's exceptions. There are plenty of people who are doing this and really succeeding with it. I actually spoke to one of them today, Randy Murray from First Today, Then Tomorrow. You actually go to his website. It's actually whowritesforyou.com, which is his business.
Interesting.
But he's having phenomenal success with his site, so it kind of dispels the you have to do it one way or the other.
Right.
I mean, honestly, he really, as much as I still think that alignment's really good, naming your site what the URL is, he gave me a pretty good quote that I'm having difficulty arguing with, and I love arguing. It's, frankly, the URL only matters a little. What matters lots is lots of good content over time. That builds up SEO and the traffic you need. Forgive me if I just, did not do a great reading of that quote. That was awkward, but...
We don't mind.
No, it's good. But honestly, he's right, but I think you're making your life just a little bit harder if you have the ability to kind of align things at the beginning. And if you haven't been at it that long, I can tell you it wasn't the easiest thing to do, but it wasn't a nightmare to change the URL over. I will tell you one thing that Randy has, and one thing that I made sure I did was that at least if you want to keep the name, your name, because you've done it for forever that way, that you have the URL for whatever else you do.
Right.
A good example of that is, I think does Andrew Hanley write for your site?
He does.
He has engaged the blog over at tmcustommedia.com, but they also have engagedtheblog.com.
Right.
So you can get there either way.
So when you did it, when you switched it over, and it was just last month, right?
Yeah, just a little bit more than about 2 months ago.
So when you did it, was it hard to redirect michaelschechter.me?
Why I paid a professional to
do
it.
you?
Just I didn't want to lose the links, but he did a great job. It was fast and not crazy expensive. And actually, can I pimp him? Because he did a great job.
Yeah, of course.
Tim from mindq.com was phenomenal.
Phenomenal. What's the URL?
Mindq.com.
Cool. Thank you, Tim, very much for your help.
Yeah.
So if you have a question for us, you can go to facebook.com/ArmandDietrich. Leave it on the wall there. If you'd like us to do an interview with an expert like we did with Mike, please let us know who you think it should be, and we'll get it taken care of. See you later.
I think experts are stretched, just for the record.
It's my blog. I can call you what I want. Goodbye.